So I have one more perception. So these are the two perceptions that I think of is what is happening. But either way, the solution is the same for both of them, which is the perception one and perception two of what's going on with the whole thing with Donald Trump right now. The solution is community. Now, people can still be safe as far as like the threat of the coronavirus to make sure that they don't, be affected by the coronavirus. But it is going to take unity, community, and independence and self-reliance and organization within the neighborhoods. Okay? And that could very well happen as long as there's an awakening, as long as there's not a sleep, and as long as there's not a thing what they used to believe is, okay, Donald Trump's got it. Okay? So here's my other perception of what could be going on with Donald Trump. Now, he could have had a heart to really change America. And he probably loved America. And because there was, when I did see other videos, it looked like there was a light in his eye where he wanted to really make a difference. And he really wanted to have people come together. I feel like, I don't know, there's that part that I do see that there was something very genuine. But, of course, he has an ego and he says a lot of things that are just like what? Or whatever. So what we do know is that Donald Trump speaks off the top of his hat. Like, he does not read teleprompters. He does not read scripts, ever. But he is now. There is a stark difference between, before where he looked like he was, really, just passionate, or just looked like he was just, looking forward to a lot of things in America. But now he looks scared. All I know is he looks scared. And the reason why is because I'm looking at interviews or with him, not interviews, but with him talking. And he's really reading from a teleprompter. This should be an alarm. There's a joke on TikTok where this guy says, I thought the coronavirus was just a joke or it wasn't even real. But then Donald Trump was reading from a teleprompter. He goes, I'll have to show it to you because it's pretty funny. But it is kind of true. He's reading something. And he looks devastated, So people are predictable. And, Donald Trump's pretty predictable. I think one of his weaknesses, it could be his strength, but also it could be a weakness. He has an ego. And his ego could have been used. As I was mentioning with Facebook and just the internet in general, it collects data and it uses that data to retarget for advertisers. But here's the interesting thing. Facebook just recently mentioned how they're not going to have the algorithm fit the advertisers anymore, and it's going to be more for the people, which sounds good on the surface, but then does that kind of show that they really didn't give a damn about the advertisers to begin with? It's something to think about. I mean, is the data truly for these companies, to thrive, or is it really something else? Is it something more political? So it appears like it's a pretty good face as far as, what, Facebook's doing as far as doing all this great for advertisers so they can make money. But that could just be a front. I mean, China has a lot of money. And they actually pay for Hollywood. A lot of these movies are funded by China. So is it a stretch to say that the information and the data could be used more for a political purpose? So, yeah, I was mentioning in the other video, it could take the information as far as people that are not for a globalism and they're not for, just the things that are non-American. It could take the behaviors and the trends and the things that they believe in and use it to retarget it for something completely different. So I think that, with sometimes people are very predictable, and they could have used Donald Trump and his anxiousness to want to build buildings and want to change community and want to do this and that, but it was used for something else, and he got played. So Donald Trump could have got played, and that's probably, it could be the devastation. All I know is that something's different, and he looks devastated as hell, and he looks freaked out, honestly. I mean, his eyes are shifting back and forth. He looks like he is freaked the F up. Like, just like, what the hell? Like, I don't, like, he doesn't even look like he believes what he's saying at all. He's just like, and I feel like there's fear in his eyes from what I'm seeing, because, the things that he's doing now, he understands, like, it's bad. As far as trusting Walmart and Target and these companies that treat third world people that make their products in third world countries like crap, they're not going to have an epiphany and treat the Americans different. So then why is Donald Trump getting them? Like, it seems like he's getting them involved to help out with the supplies. But here's another thing to think about. The ones that own the food own the people. If you take away the people being able to be self-sufficient and depend on something outside themselves, then there is control. That's the ultimate control. There's literally, like, people think the government has control. The thing that has control is the food. That's where the control is. So then if people are just sitting there saying, I need to go get my stuff from Walmart, and then Walmart says, yeah, I got some food. I got water. I got supplies. But are you going to align with my system that I have designed? And people are going to look at these corporations, and there's trust built on the brand. And they see these, and a lot of, social media marketing or targeting, they do what's called brand awareness. So they present a feeling, like an emotional response to the brands, and say, well, Target, is the one that's for the family. And Walmart, you get your cheap prices, and they make sure they always take care of you. So then there's kind of like a psychological thing that happens when they see a brand. They buy everything that the brand purports itself to be, and they fall in line with it and say, yes, Walmart, you are here to take care of me. All I know is that when Hurricane Harvey happened, there was a video that showed people being taken to Walmart. And the person that was making a video from the news looked kind of creeped out a little bit. He's like, yeah, where are the people going? And then the news person says, I guess they're going to Walmart. And he was confused. He's like, where the hell did Walmart come about? It was a van, and it said Walmart Emergency Response. And they literally had vans, and they were taking people to Walmart during the hurricane. Is that not weird? Why did people not know about that? Why wasn't the news? Why didn't they come in Walmart and actually make a video and show what's happening at Walmart? But they didn't show it. I mean, they show everything else. They showed when people got their things that they needed at the church, like Joel Osteen. They didn't show freaking Walmart, though. Is that not freaking creepy as hell? I don't know. That's freaking creepy. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think that things could shift and things could be a lot better, and maybe there's going to be an awakening, but Donald Trump's not the answer. And, maybe the feeling is that he did not come to destroy America, but the reality is the only people that are going to save America is the people. That's it. You're here. You are the ones that are going to save America. So we got to step up. We got to wake up, and we got to decide what we want. What do we want? Does the economy come from us? Or do we mold ourselves to what they say is the economy? Do we decide to right now decide how we want this to play out? Or are we waiting on something? What are we waiting for? We're waiting for somebody else to solve our problems? Is it really that hard? If community comes together, is it really that hard to make things happen for the better? I mean, we see it all over. We see how the community came together during Hurricane Harvey. It's the community. That's it. That's why they're pulling this whole thing about the isolation, having people be isolated in their homes. I'm not saying that the coronavirus is not real, but we don't have the stats. We don't know just how bad like it is. I mean, I think it is probably bad in Italy, but we don't know really what's going on. We're just hearing the media. That's it. And they're changing it up every day. They're saying this and that, and it's just like it's like a maze pretty much. I mean, you know, we can work in communities still. We don't have to be quarantined. You know, I guess if people, I mean, it's a government thing now, like in some states where you have to stay in your house and you can't leave, okay. But like, you know, what if people, you know, come together and they decide to have a system? You know, they get the numbers of every single person in the neighborhood and just get, you know, just say, hey, if you want to work within the neighborhood, let's make a list of things that we can do to help other people and come together. You know, I'm pretty sure that that system would work. And what if, you know, there's people in the neighborhood that say, hey, I have seeds. And another person says, well, I have a huge backyard, you know, and they decide to grow something together and make like a neighborhood farm or something. There's got to be something though. If people don't act and they don't call their neighbors and figure out like, hey, we need to start growing things because eventually this food's going to run out, especially with what happened in Iraq with like a lot of the oil with the flood. We're going to have to think of something. You know what I mean? We Americans, we can do it. Okay. And it's kind of like the Boston Tea Party where they realized that it was a tax on the people to buy the products of the royal crown. And they said, yeah, this is actually fighting against my freedom. And this is like, so freedom can be bought back. I know it sounds kind of weird. The only thing that has really threatened freedom is corporations. Those are the ones that have threatened it. So a lot of these things that have happened here in America is because these corporations have a political agenda. Just like Facebook, it gives its data to China. So that is what's happening. It's because we're supporting and we're putting our energy into these corporations. So maybe this situation is going to wake people up to realize that, wait a minute, Target, Walmart, all these other places, these brands are not here for the people. This is actually hurting America. This is hurting the American dollar. And so then people may come together and decide to do something different. So I think that even though it's very doomsday and it looks like things are like, holy shit, there is an agenda. And it is trying to come through fast, but it doesn't mean that the people are not going to wake up. And I feel like once the people wake up, they're going to have to wake up to Donald Trump eventually. Like, again, I'm not going to say 100% that Donald Trump meant to plot, even though I thought that you know, I made a perception of it because I'm trying to figure out which way it is. Like if he knew or if he didn't know and he got played. So either he's playing us or he got played. There's no in between. So I don't know which one it is, but either way, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. The only thing that matters is what we're doing. That's it. We're not going to freaking know. We're not going to get into the mind of Donald Trump. All we know is what's around us. Okay, we know what's in our house. We know we need to like organize. We know what food we have, what supplies, and we know our neighbors. And that's all. That's all we know, you know? So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm sorry I'm talking y'all's ears off, but this is like this is history in the making. This is unheard of. Everything that's happening right now is absolutely everything in history all together in one blah. Like one time period, like one freaking year. It's like blah, blah, blah. The fear of the Great Depression, food shortages, like, you know, martial law, all kinds of like weird shit. It's like here, and we can either be courageous and not be into fear and overcome it and wake up and that's it, or we succumb to it and we just decide, okay, well, take me as I am. And then we decide, okay, you know, I'm at the checkpoint, they're taking my temperature. Oh no, don't drag me away. Okay. You know, and then all of a sudden we're like, where the hell am I? You know what I mean? It could get to that point though. If people don't wake up and they accept a corporation to have ownership over them and power over them, it can get bad. So unless people start growing their stuff in their freaking neighborhoods, then the bread line is going to be long. You know, people think that the lines are long now. Just imagine what's going to happen when the brands lose out on their money and then the oil is an issue, and that means that the trucks are having a hard time getting to the stores, and then all of a sudden, what are people going to be waiting for? Are they going to be waiting for porridge? That could easily happen. The food is not going to always be there because it's based on, again, something outside of oneself. The whole thing of the stores and all that stuff, that is not freedom whatsoever. It is freedom to be self-sufficient. It is freedom to be independent. It is freedom to be community and to work with what we know. So we got this. We got this. This could be an amazing time, and this could be a revolution. We got this.